All right, the picture you see is of a Lipizzan. And I'm Bob Venn. The program's called What's Going On Here, and we're over in North Aero, Vermont. Our second trip to Vermont, we did the Shelburne Farms, and we're going to be on for the next hour plus, and we hope you stay tuned. And we're going to talk first with a lady from the North Aero, or the Islands Chamber of Commerce.
Grandal County Chamber of Commerce.
All right. And your name?
Barbara Mooney.
Position?
Executive Director.
What does that mean? What's an executive director do?
I'm the executive director. I'm also the only full-time, year-round staff person.
So you're the boss? And
so I'm the boss, and I vacuum the rugs, and I do the filing and answer the phones and a little of everything.
All right. Does that mean that nobody wants to work for you, or you just know so much you don't need help?
Well, we're a very small chamber of commerce.
What does it cover? Now, maybe I'm not understanding. Is North Aero is not an island by itself? It's part of Grand Isle?
It's part of Grand Isle County, and Grand Isle County is comprised of 5 island towns.
Okay.
Alberg technically is a peninsula, but the rest of the islands are all islands.
Okay, what communities are we talking about? South Aero?
South Hero, Grand Isle, North Hero, Isle of Mott, Alberg, and North Hero. I said North Hero.
Yeah, okay, so Isle of Mont is not in the Alberg. That's separate from, because that is an island by itself. You're right.
That's right.
It is. You have to cross a little bridge in that area. All right, well, someone's going to say, what did we came to the horses to see the horses, but so what are we doing with the Chamber of Commerce? Why am I talking with you as a Chamber of Commerce when I came to see the horses?
Well, because the Chamber of Commerce has been working with the Herman family to try to develop a summer residency here for the horses and the people in the islands. Originally, they came 3 years ago as a fundraiser. They work with local chambers, Rotary clubs, service clubs as fundraisers for that organization, and normally they stay a week in a place and put on 4 shows, which they did for us 3 years ago at Shore Acres. We had 4,000 people that come to those shows.
4,000?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did 4 performances, and we averaged about 1,000 people. So we thought, well, we really have something here. They fell in love with the islands as well, and before they left, they asked if our chamber would be interested in trying to develop a summer home for them, someplace where they could stay all summer. And that's what we've been working on ever since, and this is what we've done together. And we work very closely together.
All right, let me go back just to that 4,000 people. Was that much more than you had expected?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think the biggest audience we'd ever had for anything here in the islands is about 400 people. So it was way beyond our expectations.
All right, for those who don't know the whole area well in their mind, where did you draw from? You draw from New York State?
I think we drew mainly from Vermont. We did some informal measurement. We walked around in the parking lot and looked at license plates, and we had enough license plates here from out of state and from Montreal that we knew that we had interest from people that were traveling through the area, so we felt that we had we could sustain a market here.
Were you people out there, I don't know if you picked that up or not, so you don't just appreciate the 4,000 people who come to these 4 performances, you want to know where they came from so you can push that area the next time and so forth. Now, when they're here all summer, that's from early July till the end of August?
Yes, it might vary a little bit every year depending on what the rest of their schedule looks like.
Do they travel while they're here?
No,
they
don't
go
travel while they're here, no.
So normally summer was not a performing time for them?
Well, normally they were on the road, and they would travel every week. It's hard on the horses, it's hard on the people, and they have been looking for 20 years for a summer home, but it had to be the right place at the right time. And when I spoke to Colonel Herman originally, and he told me about some of the problems they'd had in other places, I said, well, it just wasn't the right place at the right time. So hopefully we've got the right place and the right time. We're going to make it work.
And this is really heaven on earth right here?
I believe it is. I believe it is.
Well, I read The Islander, of course.
Yeah.
I happened to see that anyway. And there's another man that was very, very instrumental in getting them here also.
Yes,
and
absolutely
his name,
critical.
Herman
Atkins. Herman Atkins, yes. He, the first thing we had to do was to find a site, of course, where they could be. From our point of view, we didn't have a lot of money to invest, so we had to find someone to give us some land as an experiment to try this for 1 year and see if it was feasible. So we went to a lot of different people, and we went to Herman Atkins, and we actually, I was working with another colonel, a retired Army guy, whose background was in logistics. So he suggested we talk to Mr. Atkins, which we did. And Mr. Atkins' first reaction was, no way did he want that on his property. And then he started thinking, well, why not? Because he was very familiar with the horses. He'd been to the ranch, which they have in Florida. He'd been to Austria and was familiar with Lipizzan stallions. And he's on record as saying he believed that it would be good for the islands and that would be good for the state, and that Grand Isle County was never really known for much of anything. And he said that he thought that this was a chance to show people that we do exist here, and we have a beautiful place.
Right. You hear that noise in the background? There's nobody giving us the raspberry over there. That's a horse reacting to us. Well, we're going to take a break and go talk to those horses. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in to Hometown Cable. I'm Bob Venn. I'm talking with Barbara Mooney, the Executive Director of the Grand Isle Chamber of Commerce and the Islands Chamber of Commerce. Is that all right for me to say that?
That's just fine.
Please stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in. We've been joined again by another person, and this is not Mr. Mooney, I take it.
No.
All right. Who do I have here?
My name is Herman.
Herman?
Yes.
Your first name?
My first name is Ottomar.
Ottomar Herman. And you are the, what do I call you, director, the owner? What are we?
The owner.
The owner, okay. The owner of all these horses.
Of the Royal Lipizzans.
How do I say it? Lipizzan?
Lipizzana.
Lipizzana horses.
Lipizzana. Stallions.
Stallion. Oh,
all right.
Okay.
There's a big difference in
well.
Die not just ordinary horses, these are stallions.
A horse includes both a mare and a stallion, when you say the word horse?
A horse most time is a Gilden or a mare.
Okay.
Stallions are pronounced in solo. Stallions.
We'll just say offhand that a stallion is a horse that's still a stallion, and he's not really a half between something else. Hasn't been neutered, all right?
That is correct.
All right. I read in the island that you've been with the Lipizzanas for 300 years, the family?
The family owned these horses for over 300 years. Now the question is always, why the name Royal Lipizzana? These are the last bloodlines from the House of Habsburg. That is the reason the Royal Lipizzana stallion. And these are the only one around the world what carrying the royal brand von Austria-Hungarian with the H, the House of Habsburg. In other words, don't be misleaded by other traveling shows what hiding behind that name of this fine culture. These are the only one around the world what carrying that title on the royal brand.
All right. So you're telling me that there are other shows around that have white horses that do the things from Austria?
They do similar.
All right.
Similar. We have another horse show. This is not a circus. What we present is culture, history, and art. Almost a lost art. These horses performed around the world. In each major city, these horses performed for movies, for international television, by Walter Cronkite. These horses performed for the monarchy, for queens, kings, and presidents. But it is always my great pleasure when I can perform in the outside arena and got my audience so close to the horses.
Rather than a big...
That's right. I mean, I don't like to repeat my words. It is not a Walt Disney show. It's a performing what served people for more than 2,000 years. Also, in other words, art.
So you've been with the Royal Stallions all your life?
No, I spent 15 years in the army.
Okay.
I'm a retired colonel from the Austrian army, and they don't can take that away from me. What's heaven, that's heaven.
All right.
What other people say, this don't hurt me.
No.
So I never introduced myself as a colonel, but I am retired from the army. When my father almost passed away, he wanted it that I take over these beautiful horses.
Right. You know my next question is going
Sure.
to be, do you have children who
Yes,
are going
I
to
do.
take it over from you?
Don't worry about it.
Yes?
I have enough. I don't know how many, but plenty.
So there's many of Herman's around?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So that it's
Yeah.
not going to stop because
No.
300 years.
No, we don't give up, you
Now,
know.
is this forced on your children or do they want to do this?
No, we never force our relatives to do what we like to do. Forcing is wrong. Acting is right. When the feeling is there and the quality is there, do it. When there's no feeling there, no
Yeah.
quality, it makes no
Well,
sense.
my word was too strong, but you encourage them. Can I
No,
say?
auch the,
You don't
no,
even encourage
not
them.
ever encourage. I let it alone.
Uh-huh.
I let it alone. It must come by himself. Like a good, like Mozart, Brahms, Tchaikovsky, Rembrandt. It has to come by himself. This is a miracle for himself that the stable is open. And we have here 19 stallions and our visitors going in and out the whole day. And our horses behave him like gentlemen. That is their training, that is their love to the horses. Every horse is good in his own way. Definitely, to my opinion, to my point, every horse is beautiful. But nowhere in the world, and I'll be very proud of that, and I'll be responsible what I say to you. You can enter a stable and you see so many stallions side and side. That is not the other one. That is the only one.
All right. Now, you're here in the summer, and you still travel from city to city?
No, we're done.
You're done that.
Yeah, we have done that. What we are doing, we have our winter quarter in Florida, close to Burlington, Sarasota. In the winter time, we have 3 months open. This is January, February, and March. 3 performings per week. These are ballerinas. They need rest to perform good. You could not pry these horses. You can give them no money.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give them rest and good care. The full quality performing out. So we work 3 months, 3 days a week. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. After end of March, we give the stallions 1 month off. To relax, of course, they have to be coming out, they have to be lunched, they have to be ridden, but no show quality, for pleasure, for exercising. Then we're going on tour. We have about 5 weekends where we're showing, 5 to 6 weekends. We show only on weekends. And then we open up here.
Okay.
And stay here approximately 8, 9, 10 weeks. From here we have 1 weekend, that is the Labor Day.
Mhm.
That's the Labor Day. I have to watch what I say, sure, not Christmas. Labor Day we have a weekend and then we have 5 weeks in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Und December die completely off. No training, exercising, of course. And then in January we started training.
Barb, have you ever seen the shows in Florida?
Yes, I have.
You have
I've
been
to
down.
the ranch,
Right.
yes.
Now, once they're up here, and you do most of the advertising, is it you're pushing it up here as a chamber?
Yes, the champ.
All
Yes.
right. Now, when you go to New Hampshire, is that
Yes.
tied in with you, or do you have your own?
No, we have an other agency.
Okay, you have your own agency
Now,
there.
let me correct something.
Yeah.